Tonight on the world's most amazing videos, a man trapped in a deadly flood grabs a lifeline, but can't hang on. Plus, circus elephants go on a terrifying rampage. Then, a fearless clerk gives a crook more than he bargained for. And parachutes get tangled during a high-flying stunt, sending 2 skydivers into a death spiral. And later, a race car driver is engulfed in a savage inferno and burning alive. These are the incredible true life stories of people who face their most desperate hour and live to tell about it. Everything you are about to see is real. Real people, real danger, real excitement. Get ready to experience the thrill of a lifetime. You are about to witness the world's most amazing videos.
Santa Fe Springs, California.
Tell him to get ready.
William McCree's car has been swept into a churning flood channel. William is stranded on the roof.
He's in the center! In the center! Right in the center of the car line!
Rescue crews will get one shot at saving him, but they must move fast.
Get ready to grab the rope!
His car drifts closer to the bridge. This is his chance.
Grab the rope! Grab the rope! Grab it tight! Grab it tight!
Rescuers race to the other side.
Hold on!
There's the car, but where's William?
Okay.
William is under the bridge, still holding on to the rope.
We're gonna pull you up! Come on now! Hold on! Pull it! We got it!
Before they can reach him, he's gone. Rescuers race over once more.
I don't see him!
But again, no sign of William.
Where is he? Come on back! We got him!
Incredibly, he's still under the bridge and still holding on.
Come on!
A dozen men pull with all their strength.
Grab it tight! Grab it tight!
Inches from safety. Then,
Vest!
at the last possible moment, the rope slips from his hands. William nearly slams the concrete base. Rescue now looks hopeless. Incredibly, William somehow grabs another lifeline. And fire crews aren't going to let this chance slip away. They pull him to shore. They've got him. Remarkably, the man survives 45 minutes of terror without serious injury. William's alive, thanks to rescuers who refused to give up when his life was hanging by a thread. Columbus, Ohio. An armed robber sticks up a gas station. The clerk, Karen Smith, willingly hands over the cash.
I was just scared he was gonna kill me. I was afraid for my life.
But this guy's picked the wrong woman to mess with.
All of a sudden he said, "Oh, and the money flew up in the air. And that's when I knew I had hit him.
Karen grabs a pistol she'd hidden under the cash register. The wounded suspect writhes on the floor, begging for mercy.
Yeah, I was thinking he was gonna shoot me back. So that's why I kept the gun on him, because if he moved a certain way, I was gonna blast him again.
Karen holds the robber at bay until police arrive. One thing's for sure, he won't forget the day he crossed a lady packing .38 caliber justice. Brisbane, Australia. The national skydiving team practices for the World Championships with a 4-man canopy stack. It's the riskiest of stunts. Skydiver Archie Jameson moves into position. So far, so good. Now it's his teammate's turn. Suddenly, the chutes collide and collapse. The men are bound and tangled in lines and canopy. They plunge toward death at 120 miles an hour. Archie's teammate breaks free. His safety chute opens. But Archie can't pull his ripcord until he's clear of the lines. Only 7 seconds until impact. Now 5. Then, he's clear. The backup chute opens. Too close for comfort.
A mid-air collision, which is basically what it is something that, no skydiver ever wants them to happen to them.
Archie is well aware of the risk from the moment he jumped.
Canopy formation is probably the most dangerous discipline in the whole of skydiving.
When the chutes collide, Archie spirals in a dizzying downward spin.
It's very disorientating because of the amount of revolutions that you're doing. I sort of got to a point where I was feeling a bit lightheaded, I guess, because all the blood's rushing to my feet. I thought I was dead there.
By Archie's calculation, he cheats death by a mere second.
I don't really have a death wish. I really like what I'm doing and I want to keep doing it for years to come.
Next, bullets fly when renegade bandits open up with AK-47s. Then, raging elephants go berserk, destroying a restaurant. And later, a speeding car loses control and barrels straight into a cameraman. When the world's most amazing videos continues.
Richardson, Texas. Police race to stop a trio of bank robbers heading toward the highway in an SUV. They expect trouble.
He stopped on the entrance ramp to Central.
But not this.
He's backing up.
As Officer Bill Brown approaches, the robbers open fire with AK-47 machine guns. Point blank into his patrol car. His fellow cops think he's riddled with bullets.
As I was just about 100 feet away from Officer Brown is when they started shooting. Officer Brown's car, it looked like it just kind of rolled to a stop. I thought he was dead.
But then, Officer Brown radios. He's alive and mad.
I dug down below the dashboard using the front of the vehicle and the engine block as cover.
The chase resumes. Now the fleeing gunmen open fire on Officer Stephen Moore.
As I got closer to them, I could tell that they're firing again, and this time they're firing at me.
The cops drop back. By the time they catch up again, the getaway car is stopped dead. Officer Moore approaches carefully, but the suspects are gone. They've carjacked a second vehicle, and they're off again. They don't get far. They plow into a car, then a telephone pole. Officer Robert Skinner is 30 yards away, ready to move in and end it.
They've crashed, and that was a pretty good impact, so I'm thinking they're hurt and they're not going to go anywhere. Well, it surprised me. I see them starting to bail out.
But the robbers come out shooting.
It's got more and more desperate. The closer we got, the more they're willing to shoot at us.
More shots fired, more shots fired. We need help. Shot my car up also, 725.
The officers can't shoot back. Innocent people are in the line of fire.
They don't care what they're shooting at. You know, they could hit anybody, it wouldn't matter, but obviously we're more concerned about who we hit.
After a battle that could have killed cops or bystanders, 2 of the gunmen give up. The other is tracked down when he runs out of ammunition. All are serving hard time.
Fortunately, no one got hurt. And these guys were very bad people, and we had to get them off the street.
It is very good that they're behind bars. These are guys that don't need to ever be let out.
More shots fired, more shots fired. Setting weapon fire. They're shooting up my squad.
Seoul, South Korea. An elephant walks into a bar. But this is no joke. It's mayhem. 2 mammoth elephants crash into a cafe and head straight for the kitchen. The animals have broken away from a children's parade. Dangerously driven by hunger. Zoo wranglers approach the beasts with caution. Suddenly, a woman bursts through the kitchen and runs for her life. It's a close call. She narrowly escapes being crushed against the wall. The elephants barge through the back door. The 8-ton beasts finally satisfy their appetite. The animal handlers get them under control and lead them to a zoo. But not before the couple runs up the biggest bill in this restaurant's history. Santa Maria, California. A sprint car race screeches to a halt. car's ablaze, and driver Gene Manhire is trapped inside. He's wearing a fire suit, but it's only good for about 30 seconds.
Manhire's car engulfed in flames. It's a stubborn fire.
Gene's running out of time when the crowd gets some good news.
Gene Manhire is out of the car.
One problem. The announcer is wrong. Gene Manhire is still inside that car. His fire suit is burning away. Other drivers rush to help. They try to pull Gene out, but he's stuck.
They're getting the big guns out there now. We have a tank mounted on the pickup. We haven't had to use that in a long time, but boy, that thing is really burned.
Just when it looks like things couldn't get any worse, he's lost in a fireball. The crowd's anguished cries are no use. But then, Gene emerges from the smoke.
Gene Manhire is conscious, and the safety crew is working on him.
Amazingly, Gene survives.
The safety crew monitored up to the announcer that I was out, meaning that I was knocked out, and the announcer thought that I was actually out of the car when I wasn't.
Gene Manhire is out of the car.
The fire suit was giving up, and the flames were starting to penetrate through the suit, and the back of my legs were starting to get burned.
Even worse, rescue seemed hopeless.
The safety crew really wasn't equipped to handle a fire like that. They didn't have the proper attire, and one of the safety workers was trying to reach in and get me out of the car, and ended up burning his forearms pretty bad.
Lucky for Gene, his fellow racers braved the flames to save one of their own.
Coming up, a French daredevil faces death at the hand of Lady Liberty. Then, faulty construction turns a runaway truck ramp into a trucker's worst nightmare. And later, a drunken bully unleashes savage blows, then gets a shot of his own. When the world's most amazing videos returns.
New York Harbor. A parasailer with a propeller on his back circles the Statue of Liberty. A news crew keeps a wary eye.
This parasailer is coming very close to the Statue of Liberty. Too close.
What they don't know is that Frenchman Thierry DeVoe is attempting a risky and illegal stunt. Landing on Lady Liberty's torch. DeVoe makes his final approach. He overshoots the torch. Now the Frenchman suspended by a thin line, 22 stories up. If there's a sudden gust, the chute will tear, sending DeVoe to certain death. For more than 30 minutes, his life hangs in the balance.
This is really bad. It looks like this guy is just dangling by a couple of lines.
Rescue crews arrive. They clear tourists from the base of the statue in case DeVoe falls.
From what I can see, park service people and fire rescue crews are on the ground now. They're all just trying to figure a way to get this person off the statue.
DeVoe struggles to pull himself up Liberty's hand, but he's weighted down by the propeller.
It looks like they're going to try and haul him over the rail. They don't want to scratch the gold torch.
It takes 5 officers to yank him over the rail. DeVoe's high-flying ordeal is over. The Frenchman's reckless bid for liberty lands him in jail. Carbon County, Pennsylvania. TV news cameraman Rob Gill sets up on the side of a highway, shooting a report on an unsafe runaway truck ramp.
There was several truck accidents on this ramp before, and trucks would come and flip. So I was just getting some general shots of the truck ramp.
But less than 3 minutes after Rob arrives, this minor story becomes breaking news. The gravel should slow the truck, but the truck vaults off the first mound. The second row is like a wall.
I was looking through the camera the whole time. I had no idea that the back end of the truck was going to go into the air like that.
The driver stumbles out, dazed and stunned by the violent crash.
Are you all right? Sir, you all right? I was pretty shocked to see him conscious and walking away from that accident like that. I saw the blood all over his head.
You all right? A little bumped up.
Paramedics arrive. Despite all the blood, the driver has only minor injuries. His truck fares far worse. Rob has his story and video proof that this truck ramp doesn't prevent crashes, it causes them. Indianapolis, Indiana. A burglar lifts the steel security blinds at a golfer's pro shop. He makes sure the coast is clear and slips inside. Then he closes the blinds. He wants privacy as he goes about his shady deeds. He's about to get more than he bargained for. Fast forward 14 minutes. Our thief is ready for his getaway. But there's one problem. The security shade is locked. He tries with all his might to open it. He works frantically to pick the lock. He even tries to wedge it with a 3-iron. But it's no use. This crook hasn't been caught. He hasn't been tried. But for now, he's locked up. Finally, he grabs his loot and heads for the door, setting off the alarm he tried to avoid. In the end, he beats the blinds. Too bad he forgot about the camera.
Next, a cameraman gets a bone-crushing close-up. And a terrified snowboarder triggers a killer avalanche. Plus, a biker aims for a soft landing, but comes down hard. When the world's most amazing videos continues.
Pontevedra, Spain. A unique race featuring amateur drivers takes over the back roads. Some perform with surprising skill. Others, not so much. But the fun and excitement of this freewheeling event is about to take a frightening turn. A race car flies wildly out of control, flips onto its roof, then barrels straight for the camera. At the next turn, the accident is captured from another angle. Keep your eye on the cameraman in the yellow coat. The roadster slams him head on, then nearly rolls right on top of him. Amazingly, the man suffers only a bruised knee during the accident. But he learns the hard way that road racing is better left to professionals. Jackson Hole, Wyoming. An extreme snowboarding run turns into a flight from death. Keegan File is gone. By all appearances, he's lost beneath tons of snow. But wait. A closer look shows movement. Keegan reappears. He waves to his friends and shows them he's okay.
As soon as I landed, I could feel the snow collapsing below me. It was kind of like being flushed down the toilet.
Oh my God.
As Keegan begins the 1,000-foot plummet, he knows there's more danger below. Those jagged cliffs could cut him to ribbons.
I hit one rock with my snowboard, tore the edge off my snowboard. From then on, it was kind of like being in a river. It was just really loud, chaotic.
Keegan saves himself by treating the cascade like a real river. He actually swims to stay afloat.
Just to kind of paddle and push yourself up on the snow and just try to get as high as you can on that.
For Keegan File, this was the ultimate ride. It could have been his last. Bellevue, Washington. Disaster at the gas pump. A ball of fire surrounds a rare Ferrari and its owner in only a second. Temperatures spike at nearly 2,000 degrees, hot enough to melt metal. Flames blast into the air. Derek Walker is engulfed by the hellish inferno, but a closer look reveals a diving run that saves him from serious injury.
All of a sudden I felt heat and heard the whoosh. The first thing that came to mind was get the hell out of there.
A ruptured fuel line is blamed for the fire. Derek is unscathed, but firefighters arrive too late to save his classic car. The Fast and Furious is reduced to the smoked and smoldering. South Wales. Teenagers are drinking in the park and trouble is brewing. It's a sucker punch. He's no gentleman. He even punches a girl and wallops another one. The hooligan gets in another punishing, cowardly kick. Then he goes back for the girl. He's in a drunken rage. The teenage thug struts away. He's free and clear. At least he thinks he is. Now he knows how it feels. That knockout punch is delivered by a cab driver who witnessed the teen's brutal rampage. The driver walks off into the crowd. A bystander screams to have him arrested. She doesn't realize he was simply giving a bully a taste of his own medicine.
Coming up, an airshow stunt goes terribly wrong. And racing rivals square off in a fight to the finish. When the world's most amazing videos continues.
Salinas, California. A spinning airplane drops from the sky. No one's in danger because it's part of an air show. All day long, pilots push their machines to the limit with knife-edge precision. Crowd favorite Wayne Handley is about to raise the bar. He flies a high-performance stunt plane he built with his own hands. Today, he'll use it to defy death.
And not even breathing hard.
Wayne pulls back the yoke for a spine-crunching move. Straight up. Then he pushes over for a high-speed dive. Wayne plans to pull up at the last possible second. But something is wrong. As the plane nosedives, smoke suddenly stops flowing from the exhaust. The engine is dead. The plane smashes the runway at over 100 miles an hour. Wayne is thrown violently against his harness. His head punches a hole through the cockpit canopy. The crowd fears that one of the best might be lost. Paramedics rush to the scene. Amazingly, Wayne is alive. He's not sure why the engine died. Thankfully, he'll live to make sure it doesn't happen again. Quebec, Canada. A traffic stop goes wrong. That's a female police officer hanging on for dear life. Watch again. Officers surround the car. The female armed robbery suspect guns it. One cop is tossed to the gutter. But his courageous partner grabs the wheel and won't let go. She skis across the asphalt to keep from falling. The car hits 40 miles an hour and nearly collides with a van. The officer is still holding on as the car careens out of sight. Soon after, the lady lawbreaker surrenders. She learns the hard way that you can't outrun the long arm of the law. Accord, New York.
He's got a line in turn number 3.
Friday night at the races is about to become the Friday night fights. It begins on turn 1, when Scott Ferrier in the black car cuts off Mike Rickey. Now it's round 1.
Scott Ferrier in trouble with the number 20.
Mike fights back, using his car as a battering ram. shoving Scott right off the track.
The cars are steel frame, and when anyone makes contact on your bumper, you feel it directly in your seat. So what looks like mild taps are pretty hard shots.
Scott comes to a stop when Mike bangs into him.
Here comes Farrier.
Again. The race has turned into a demolition derby.
He totally lost his mind and wouldn't stop and kept retaliating.
Scott backs up, but he doesn't back down.
I hit him as hard as he hit me, and he didn't like that.
And when the dust seems to settle, suddenly Mike strikes again.
And oh my goodness.
Scott's had enough. He's out of the car, ready to go mano a mano. But he's facing an entire team.
I looked to my left, and his whole crew and other people were running down the racetrack right towards me. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Nobody, please, through that gate.
Scott swings his helmet. And he goes reeling. Now Mike comes in for a sneak attack, but he's stopped by a track worker.
He was going to try to take a cheap shot from behind when I was down.
Scott's surrounded. All he has is his helmet. Until his own crew comes out swinging.
Keep the gate closed, please, on the front straightaway. Keep the gate closed. Remain in the stands, please. Everyone remain in the grandstands.
Finally, everyone returns to their corners.
We apologize for the conduct of our participants on the front straightaway.
Mike Rickey heads off and claims victory, but he keeps his helmet on, just in case.
It was something you never see in racing, that many people enter the racetrack and are looking to get you.
Both Scott and Mike get suspensions for the bench-clearing brawl, but there are no hard feelings.
We competed the following week together. I have respect for him, and I'm not looking for any other confrontations on the racetrack.
Getting knocked around on the racetrack is nothing new, but for some reason, on this night, it was personal. Anne Arundel, Maryland. Motorcycle daredevils find a safe way to practice risky stunts. They fly and flip into a huge dumpster filled with soft foam rubber. A bulldozer with a cable pulls the bike and rider out of the foam.
Hold on to the bar. That's all you got.
Now, Ben Smolin is chopping at the bit to take his turn.
They asked me if I wanted to learn how to do the backflip, and I'm like, sure, why not? I'm like, I never get that opportunity ever again.
Sweet.
Ben almost pulls off the jump on his first try, but he's sure he can nail it the second time around.
I remember flying through the air upside down. My hands got ripped off the handlebars. I wasn't able to hold on.
Ben flies over the side of the dumpster and brutally slams the bulldozer.
Dude, he hit his chest on the... All right, your chin's a little bloody. It's bleeding. Do you want an ambulance, dude? Yes, 911.
Johnny Seals is manning the machinery. He watches helplessly as Ben violently smacks headfirst into the solid steel roof.
His chin hit right there on the corner. Ben's crash was by far the most horrifying thing I think I've ever seen in my life. It sounded like he hit a brick wall, making a tremendous noise. You know, he rolled over lifeless and left for dead.
Ben is badly cut, and he has broken bones. He's rushed by helicopter to the hospital.
Live and learn. I'll get her one of these days. There's really nothing that really ever scares me, and so I might actually attempt it again.
These are the amazing stories of people caught in life and death situations who made it out alive. Join us next time for more of the world's most amazing videos.